Hi guys, this is Linda Smuts from Vibe Health Club and you're watching Inside Umbumbela.
Welcome to this week's exciting episode of Inside the Mandela Goes Mobile. This is our third episode in our superhero series where we interview people who really make an actual difference as opposed to just saying it's not a catchphrase, it's a word, it's a way of life in these parts. So yeah, act on. On this week's episode, we've got Linda Smuts, a nurse practitioner with an amazing background, which I would love her to share with us today. Linda, welcome to Inside Bombay.
Thanks very much, Leon, Reggie.
And in case you guys forgot, I am still your host, Leo Gant. So yeah, Linda, please introduce yourself to my people.
Hi guys, I'm Linda Smuts, originally from Joburg, 12 years in the Lowveld.
How did you land up in the low felt or the slow felt? So it's sometimes known as.
By default, guys, I was looking to leave Joburg and I was traveling around the country to find a place where I wanted to go. And I was traveling with a friend through Hazyview one day and I thought this is the prettiest little town I've seen. And I went on the internet and I found my house and I moved to the Lowveld.
So how long did that decision take you from finding out Hazyview existed, finding the property, and moving down?
Probably about a year.
Whoa, that was quick.
Yeah, no, it was very quick. It wasn't thought through at all. I just found the house and I liked the place and I said, okay, this is it. I'm 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 leaving Joburg.
Well, since you're 13 years deep, I'm assuming there's no regrets.
It's been very difficult. It's been a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be because I arrived here not knowing anyone. And I found myself living in another country within the country that I thought I had been living in. I was completely blown away by what I found in the Lowveld. Um, I, I wasn't very. It was very different. The people here are very different. The people are more conservative. The people aren't open to new ideas
And to strangers.
and to strangers and to women on their own.
Okay, I think I went through half the things you said until the woman on your own part. That one you're on your own. I'm sorry. Can you talk us through a bit about your background in health?
Sure. I think I always wanted to be a nurse. That was not what I thought. Not very ambitious of me, but it was just as a little girl, I was always going to be a nurse. And I trained at the Joburg Gen in the 80s, and then I left for a while. I had had enough of nursing, and then I just went straight back to it. And that's what I've been doing on and off ever since, working in the healthcare industry, working as a medical rep, working in clinical research, working in the hospitals, mostly in emergency departments.
As in ICU and all of that. So when somebody gets shot, they would arrive at your doorstep, literally.
Correct.
So you don't have that whole phobia for blood and gore and
You know, the nice thing about doing something with casualties is that you can see the problem and you can fix it. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You get in there, you fix the problem, and then the patient moves on to get healed. It's a nice way of doing things quickly, I suppose. Your patients who they come in and they're sick and they go into the hospitals, they go into the wards and they get looked after there, but it's the emergency. I suppose it's the adrenaline rush that's nice when you're working in casualties. You have to work fast. You have to work quickly. You have to
have
keep
comfortable
it
shoes.
and have very comfortable shoes.
how do you think your years at Joburg Jan, how did they shape your how you look at patient care today?
Well, I had some very good experiences at the Joburg Gen. I qualified in 1987, and that was just when things were starting to open up. Back then, we still were very segregated. The Joburg Gen was a white hospital, and so we had Joburg Gen and we had Baragwanath Hospital.
Yes.
And just as I was leaving, we started to get some of the Baragwanath nurses in to the hospital. Very, very brave girls, I thought, to come in and start trying to build the bridges of the country.
Yeah.
I left at that point. So then I came back in 1989. I'd gone to London just to have a break and to, I don't know why. And I'd been there for 2 years, and the country was burning at that time.
Mm. Which year
And
was this, sorry?
it was in the late 80s that I was there, so 88, 89.
Yeah.
And I came back to the country because I was a nurse, and I thought I can help. I'm just wasting my time in England. I'm not doing anything
Your talent,
constructive.
yeah, you're wasting
Let
your
me
talent.
come back to and help. So I joined the trauma unit, wet behind the ears because I hadn't been nursing for a long time, and found myself kind of in at the deep end, I suppose. And things had changed. We had patients that didn't speak English. I had colleagues who didn't trust me because I was who was I? I kept asking questions. I didn't know what I was doing anymore because I'd been out for so long. And they told me afterwards they thought I was trying to trick them into to test them.
Wow. So it was a Q&A.
It was a Q&A for me to find my feet again. And there was a lot of hostility, and there was a lot of racism. It was horrible to be working in the hospital at the time. And I tried to implement Zulu lessons for the nurses because I realized, and I still think it's so important today that I still don't speak Zulu, but that we understand each other better.
Yeah.
And especially in a hospital situation where you're asking somebody and you can't say, oh, I can pay for mula buti. I mean, vula meklo. It's just like I learned it, enough to keep me going.
Yeah.
But we had a good relationship going in the trauma unit, and I then went and did my ICU training because I figured that I would just be learn more, have more knowledge, understand more about what I was dealing with in the trauma ICU where I was working. And I did well. Eventually they put me in as the acting unit manager and then the unit manager. We had a very good relationship with all the staff. We really did get on well, and we were very busy because the country was up in flames.
Yeah.
Bomb blasts, gunshots, you name it. We had stuff happening with what was going on there.
I can just imagine whatever that would be happening in hotspots in your Easter End, your Sowetos and everything. If Chris Baragwanath is overwhelmed, then immediately they get shipped over to you guys, and boom.
And wherever, so they'd go to the closest hospital, but because we were in the center of town,
Yes.
we were the place to go. So and back then it was the private hospitals weren't as popular as they are now. We still, the government hospitals were still working pretty well,
As they should, actually.
as they should be. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, while we were doing our due diligence, researching you and everything. Oh yeah, by the way, you out there, ne? Like there's so many blitz and blurbs about Linda Smuts out there.
Me?
Yes, you definitely. How did you end up doing research for rare diseases?
Genetics.
Oh,
Genetics. So when you have a very rare gene, and the mom and dad both carry that rare gene,
yeah,
and nobody knows about it,
yeah.
and then suddenly you have this kid who comes with this rare disease because you have this little chromosome that's come from Dur, via, and just so happens that the two of you have that same gene.
And how long did you do that? That sounds like a nice fact-finding mission that you get paid for.
It was fun. I mean, it was, and it's pretty well paid, but it's not very taxing work. You have to be very meticulous.
Okay.
keeping everything, records of everything, do your monitoring properly, make sure that you have that you are making notes of anything that could go wrong or any changes that are happening, that you're running the drip at the right speed, that the patient isn't sick when they come in. You do all of that, and you make notes, and this, and you write, and this happened and that happened, and anything the patient had a nose was taking something for sinus. You have anything you have to make you have to document just everything that goes on. So it's my job was just to document everything. I don't do the research at the end of the day. Whoever the analysts were doing were going to take that information that I was giving and saying, look, we didn't have any trouble with this drug, it works well, the patient has recovered.
Do you ever find yourself being a critic while watching like medical programs on TV or something? No, that's not how it works.
Often. Often I'm like, oh, come on guys, like, can't you get it right, you know? Yeah, it's very organized on the TV programs. There isn't the chaos that you deal with when you're doing it for real. But there's everything's clean. There's no one you're not tripping over something, you're not fighting with someone. Everyone looks like they're all getting on really well, but that doesn't happen
in real life.
In real life, there's always someone that you don't like. There's always some colleague that I don't want to work a shift with that person, or don't bring that doctor near me, or there's always something like that. But
it's called being human. It's called being human. At some point, you gravitated towards treating addictions for people with substance abuse. Like, honestly, when are you writing a book? Because all of this information needs to be out there. How did you land up into that whole sphere where you had to treat addictions or help people with substance abuse?
I think from personal experience, I met a lot of people who were severely addicted to different substances.
Yeah.
And I realized that I didn't know how to help them. I was unfamiliar with the right methods to use if somebody is addicted, the right kind of counseling, the right kind of attitude towards them. Love is not enough. Trying to help is not enough. You actually have to walk a very hard line with them. There's no easy way out with that. So I had to learn a lot about it, and so I tried to get involved with the people that were doing it. You have, put it this way, I asked somebody once. I had a friend who was going to go to rehab for alcohol addiction. I was phoning to ask about it, and this guy was on the phone, and he said to me, if you tell someone that you will never talk to them again until they go to rehab, and then you break it before they go to rehab, they will never trust you. You'll never get the bond and the upper hand again, because you, as the person trying to help, would have broken your own word to yourself.
Yes.
So the most difficult thing about dealing with someone with addiction, I would say, is yourself, is dealing with your reaction to the addiction. And that is where I learned that I needed to become smarter and understand what the addiction, me helping, meant to the person that I was trying to help.
What are people addicted to, but they don't see it as an addiction?
Social media. People don't realize that the number of pedestrian vehicle accidents has increased exponentially since people have been walking with phones, because they've got their earphones in and they're talking and they're not looking where they're going. They just walk into the streets.
Yes.
People don't realize how much time gets wasted and how
many lives are actually ruined by something that's supposed to be helping.
You're not expanding your mind. You're not learning anything. No. You're just scrolling and gaming. You're not outside. You're not energetic. You're not exercising, eating junk food, because it's easier just to keep playing and just eat something.
Yeah. So you now have a wellness center just outside the Kruger National Park. Did you set it up here because you were here, or there's something about the natural splendor here that makes healing possible?
That's a nice question. I set it up because I am here, but I do believe that the surroundings that I am in make it more conducive to healing. People will come here and they will feel the peace of the place
It's
and
peaceful.
feel more relaxed.
So how did you land on the name Vibe Health Club, and what does that entail?
So one of the things that has happened since I've been here in Hazyview, I have had many ideas for many things that I wanted to do. Initially, I thought that I would open a guest house for sick people. So if people were feeling weak or they were recovering from theatre, they just needed some time,
Yeah.
they could come here. I could look after them during the day. They could drive to the park. I could help them with their dressings. I could follow up on their medications. I
Yes.
could keep an eye on them. But I don't know how to advertise that. It hasn't, so it never took off the way that I imagined that I would be able to do it.
Yeah, that's called medical tourism, and it's actually quite it's growing, in a sense where a lot of South African doctors are so skilled that these rich aunties from the Western countries come here, get cut up, and soon back together, whether it's Botox this or it's a chin lift that.
Yeah.
Then they go to, Singita for like 6 weeks and have a pamper session and
Yes,
everything.
yes.
And by the time they go back home, everybody's like, wow, you look 10 years younger, going on holiday suits you. No, girl, she went under the knife. And these guys are so good at piecing you back together that
Yeah.
it does not even look like
Yeah.
you went under the knife.
So I'm not 5 star with what I offer here.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not the high upper end of the market
yeah.
for what I'm trying to do. And I think there were just so many ideas that I was working with, that I was trying to find what works, because there's a lot of opportunity in the low felt. There is
Yes.
a lot of opportunity in the low felt.
Absolutely.
And I had to find something that I could work with, something that works for me, something that I can do that suits me.
Yes.
I don't want to have to. I don't mind working hard, but I don't want to have to work unhappy. I want to
Ish.
do something that I'm enjoying.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I hit on this idea of having the health club, because people need to get fit. People need to understand what is happening with their bodies. We have a huge problem with high blood pressure, with diabetes, with cardiac disease,
Mm.
and all of these things can be controlled if you change your lifestyle.
Yes.
If you eat, if you exercise, and you relax.
It sounds easy enough, doesn't it?
Exactly. It sounds easy enough, but there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There's no way to go. So I hit on the idea to be the place where people can go to. As a qualified nurse, I can monitor, I can check you out, I can make sure that you're fine. I have a biokineticist who's working with me, I have a dietitian, I have a personal trainer. All of these people, we're working together to facilitate the wellness for the people who are being monitored and who are living in Hazyview and don't want to drive through to the big gyms in
No.
Nelspruit. It's an hour. Who wants to drive all that way to go and do something? Who, when you can actually have something that is going to be working for you
On your
close by,
doorstep.
on your doorstep.
On your doorstep. So, how do you charge for these services? Do you have a membership system going through? How does it work? Take walk-ins, subscriptions.
Well, at the moment, it's referrals. We're starting. It's very new. This whole
Yes.
thing coming together, but I imagine it is going to grow. That we have just referrals from the specialists, and they know this is that you can come here. The dietitian is also. He said, "Wow, I keep telling my clients to go and exercise." He said they're going to love this place, so that they can come in here and do the exercise and help them, and follow through. Because I don't know if you guys ever try exercising at home. You have to be very disciplined,
Absolutely.
and if you're going to be doing it with a class and there's going to be other people there, you have support from the teacher. you have support from the people in the group.
Yes.
There's a little bit of competition that you
Yes.
can look how well I'm doing compared to last week.
Absolutely.
That you can get the boost from having other people give you the praise and the encouragement that you need. So to keep yourself going. You see, so there is that encouragement that and teamwork and
Yes.
and socializing,
Yes.
that you're not just, oh no, I'm going to exercise. You go, oh, I want to go and see that person again. It was so much fun last week. Let's go back and do it again. And wow, that milkshake that they made us was so delicious. Let's try, let's go back and have some more healthy food.
I like it. I like it because really, the circle that you're surrounding yourself with can either make or break you.
Mm.
So if
Mm-hmm.
it's positive, let it. I think you stand a better chance of actually holding on.
Correct, correct,
Absolutely.
correct,
Absolutely.
correct. And sorry, and that's also because people want to take their health seriously, and everybody needs to take their health seriously. So it's a way of listening to other people's stories as well, and in, engaging with other people, mixing any race, any age, any gender. Everyone has the same body. They all have the same diseases that we can push through together. So it's a way of trying to unify the community as well.
Yeah, no. I like that. I always find it funny when people use the term big boned as if certain skeletons are bigger than other skeletons. No, the skeletal system is exactly the same. It's your habits. You're not big boned, but you're big. So, do you think the environment that you are in influences the work that you do? I mean, would this work on Colette Drive in Joburg?
It you'd Yeah, I mean, it would work, but there's a lot of competition there. There's many places to go in Hazyview. This is it. There is no other
There
place
is no
like
health
this.
club.
There is no health club.
60 kilos in any direction.
Exactly, exactly. This is the beginning of something, and it has come about because I've been looking. What can I do? I try this, I try that. That isn't going to work. That isn't going to work. What is the environment? How's it going to be?
That's too far. That doesn't make
I
sense.
can't.
That's too expensive.
That's too noisy.
Yeah.
That's too busy. Like this way, I have control over who comes in to the place because the classes get done. It's early. It's not going on into the late night. It's very controlled.
Yes.
There's a lot of control, and that's important to me. Is I don't want to lose control over everything and have the walk-ins. I don't mind people being referred and coming through,
Yes.
but I don't want people standing at the gate and saying, "Hey, I hear you've got a thing. Can we come in?"
No.
No, you can't. You have to. There must be some
Order.
order
Order.
to what is happening, because this is a um, neighborhood. I mean, we're not. It's not in town,
Yes.
so I can't have. I can't have.
Suddenly have 9 cars parked outside and no.
No. If the people must come here, they must come for a reason. They're coming here for by appointment only,
Yes.
or for the classes that are being done. And yes, we will have maybe 9 cars together at one time, but that's because we're having the exercise class, and all those ladies, all those people are coming to that exercise class on a Tuesday morning, and then they go home again, and then we don't have any noise problems.
Um, how do you draw on spiritual, mental, and physical aspects of health into your practice?
It's been okay. Physical is easy because the doctor has said that you're sick and you need to fix it.
Yeah.
The physical, everyone knows what is going on there. With the mental aspects, it's quite. There's counseling.
Yes.
People need to understand when people are sick, they get depressed. They need to have that positive intervention. They need to understand that they might be sick now, but they could get better later, and work towards that, and understand their weakness, understand their tiredness, understand their pain as part of the disease process. So that's those two are very tied up. In a conservative place like Hazyview, it's very difficult to encourage spirituality because people here follow the Christian faith
Religiously,
religiously.
literally.
Yeah. So opening up to other things. I'm a qualified yoga teacher, and when I first started in Hazyview, I tried to open with yoga classes, and I had a lot of pushback from people telling me that it was from the devil. So I understand it. So what I have done is you change it. You don't call it yoga. You call it exercise for relaxation, or exercise for opening the hips, or exercise for breathing techniques.
Wow.
So you don't bring yoga into it, and I don't then go I don't. I keep that away from the classes, because the conservative people in this town don't want to hear about it.
No.
The non-conservative people, and there's masses of them, are like, yay, yoga, we've heard about that, we want to try it, thank goodness there's someone who can help us with all of that. So there's a lot of input here. Hazyview's changed since I moved here 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
There's been a huge change, and I'm starting to see that people aren't as closed off as they used to be
Yeah.
to the ideas of bringing in new ideas.
This is the part that I'm really interested in. Tell me about this initiative. You're working with the hospice, right? In
Yes,
Mandela,
yes.
to place caregivers in homes that need it. How did that come about? I think it's the most brilliant thing I've ever heard.
Again, opportunity. Uh, because I'm a nurse and because I've gone out to help people, I've been asked a lot by people, don't I know someone who can help them? They're looking for a carer, they're looking for this, they're looking for that. So I've got a few girls, I've had a few girls on my books that I know, and if I've needed someone, well, there's one young girl that I always ask. I call Regina all the time. Regina, I need someone. Then she knows all the people, so then I get help that way. But I was at a party one night.
You party?
I was at a party one night,
Okay.
and I met a girl from the Cape who runs a company that does training for medical stuff.
Okay.
Quite a few years ago, and she called me up quite recently, and she said to me, "Are you still living in Hazyview? I'm looking for a trainer to train carers for for the business to get going." And because there's a high demand, it's a lovely thing. It's a nice thing for young girls to do, because it's not an easy job, but it's a job, and people need it. People
Yes.
always needing someone to
Take care of the vulnerable
and all of that. And so she said to me, would I like to train? So I thought, okay, well, let me give it a go. Let me see, like, I haven't done it before, but let me see if I manage.
absolutely.
And so I found the venue at the hospice in White River, where I had been doing volunteer work a few years ago. And they said that they can't manage the girls that are being trained afterwards, and the lady in Cape Town, she can't manage them either. So I found some people, and that's what we're doing now. I found someone to do the paperwork for me,
Okay.
because I don't like paperwork.
Admin is something else.
No, admin's not my strong point. And so we are finding jobs. So we're starting to advertise ourselves out as placement for carers. So if people know, then they have the right qualifications, and then it's nice for me, because I've trained the girls. I know what they like. I know what they can and can't do. I know what their personalities are. I can see who's the right fit for someone,
Yes.
so that
And
it can
it's
all
easier
work.
for you to place them when you know.
And
Okay.
they know me. So again, it's also a relatively new proper business that's now coming about. But we have one or two placements already. So I think it'll just grow,
No,
keep
absolutely.
going.
Absolutely. There's wonderful scope for growth in that particular field.
Absolutely,
And I wish you
absolutely.
100%
Thank
well.
you.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Um, only a few people have shaken Mandela's hand, and we've been lucky enough to meet two this year
Okay.
through this wonderful thing that we do for you, girls, for you guys. How was that feeling all about? Like, what? Tell me about the emotions. That
I
you're going through.
was standing next to greatness. It was an incredible feeling. This man was tall, and he had a presence with a 2 meter radius around him. You could just feel his aura. It was amazing. I was learning Zulu then. I was working at the Joburg Gem, and I'd taken myself on a Zulu class, and I was in charge of the unit, and I got completely tongue tied. And all my staff were saying, "Go meet him, go meet him, go." And I was like, "They go speak Zulu." They said, "Go speak Zulu." And I was like, "Yeah, I want to," but I said, "I can't remember anything." I said, so I went. So I said, "How do you say hello? Like, how do you say pleased to meet you?" And so I went up and I said, and they pushed me in front, and I said, "Ngiyajabula ukuyabona namhlanje."
Yeah.
And he looked down at me, Mr. Mandela, and he smiled at me, and he carried on talking to me, and I was like, "No."
Like, no, that's all. I ran out of Zulu. Like,
I said, "Ngizozama," I said.
okay.
And he said, "That's wonderful." He said, "I'm very happy to meet you and to see that you are trying." Anyway, and it was very important for me that it was obviously a lovely experience, but really standing next to greatness. What a privilege it was for me, just for those few minutes to be standing next
And
to
then
that man.
basking in the ambience, literally so.
Correct.
Miss Linda, do you think we left anything out that you'd like to shine a light on, perhaps?
Thank you. I think you've done a very good job finding out all these things about me.
Did you know any of it was out there?
No, not really. No.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Sometimes it feels like if you were to define what is a creep, like literally, that's exactly what we're doing. When we go deep and
digging.
yeah, we go digging. So no, love, thank you for sharing your wisdom, time. I love your this place. You are what we call a perma vacationer, because your home looks like a guest house. Like, this is beautiful. I could spend where the beer's at. I could spend days here, not hours, days.
You're welcome anytime. You know that.
Sure.
Reggie, you too. Thank you
Okay.
very much for the opportunity. I
No.
appreciate your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for yet another exciting episode of Inside the Mandela. It's been beautiful to actually bring you this one. It's nice to actually come to my neck of the woods, Hazyview. Funny enough, this is our first Hazyview interview. How crazy is that? It only took us 2 years. So yeah, don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. And yeah, still your host, Leo Gant, out.